in terms of your sort of growth horizon, Lucio, you're a hyper growth company. We know that. It's why you partner with a company like Oracle, right? What are your three biggest priorities at the moment as part of your growth roadmap?
So certainly as a tech startup, an investment roadmap is number one. We are always looking for that investment to keep us moving in the right direction and acquiring the right people. The second real big one is customer fulfillment. So not just fulfilling existing customers, also fulfilling onboarding new customers. Right? And that's sort of never will go away. Technology helps us, but it just doesn't really go away. And the third one is to really fulfill that global need of our customers, because our customers are global based. They really want that technology to allow us to fulfill their needs in their locale, right? So cloud really does that, but the locale, so all our customers want their data in country. And the benefit of the Oracle Cloud is that it gives us that really frictionless ability to deploy our services in the locale of our customers and deliver that need to them.
It's interesting because you're hitting on some very important points that even go beyond the business of Sitesee. I think what people are going to see in this decade is that the yellow button or the red button feature in an application infrastructure is not really going to be the decision point for companies that are going to invest as customers into their partners and move their business forward. What you're going to see is a proliferation of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and industries that are in companies that are deploying those capabilities will be the winners for the rest of this decade and onward, I think. You see it in Oracle's infrastructure, what we're doing with databases. We've taken people out of the equation, allowing people to focus more on the technology of innovation and building the next new as opposed to maintaining the old. I think what you're seeing also is that you don't want to be doing those schematic and adjustments on site. As you've said, you want to get it done before you get there. And by using AI and ML, you can actually anticipate, prepare, and then be ready to use that time on site if and when necessary to be highly effective, which again gives you and your customers competitive advantage. And then ultimately, learning from learning, so to speak, artificial intelligence absorbing all of the experiences and the data coming in, using that data with algorithms to make sure that as you progress, you do so with more efficiency, better implementation, better time use and resource usage. These are the companies like Sitesee that are going to be super successful as we go through and into the new norm, shall I say, post-pandemic. But more importantly, as technology is leveraged to remove the mistakes in the environment and remove the duplication and remove the inefficiencies. And then as you deploy these capabilities, not only will you do better for yourself, but you'll do so much better for your customers.
Excellent, Garrett, I thoroughly agree, particularly around that last point of getting rid of duplication. And humans, just what we do things badly. I don't know why, we just do. Getting rid of that really sponsors efficiency, and humans need to be deployed where they're good. And we certainly know we're not eliminating humans, we're eliminating humans from mundane work that they make mistakes with.
That's right.
So we really want to sponsor human success, but getting them to look at a cell tower, that's not human success. That's right. We want a better story.
That's fascinating. It's so encouraging to see a large global player like Oracle, and a high growth company like Sitesee sort of come together and work towards that innovation, because you can innovate and someone like yourselves, Garrett, can actually bring the scale behind it and allow them to scale. Just a question for you, Garrett.
Sure.
Oracle is an organization with so many different parts to it, but it seems like you're kind of bringing this one Oracle view of the business. And share with us what your vision is in terms of aligning and supporting the startup ecosystem.
Sure.
There's so much innovation in this region.
Convergence is a word that is used in technology way too easily. It doesn't happen automatically, and it's certainly something that, if it's driven, it can occur. But in many ways, what you have to recognize and respect the fact that is different parts of a technical environment actually need to remain separately. And things such as security and privacy need to be as much attended to as infrastructure and scale, but they're not the exact same science. And I think one of the things that Oracle believes is that we can learn a lot from our partners. We can learn a lot from our customers, big customers and small customers, startups or long legacy companies. And one of the benefits that we have is that because we have solutions that fit these different markets, because we offer technology at different size, at different scope, at different scale, we have the ability to actually engage. And with SiteC, I was actually chairing that panel, and it was amazing when I was listening to the team talk about what you were doing and where you were going, not so much as where you've been. Yeah. That's the indication that the partnership has so much opportunity to innovate. And I think we just talk about a commonality between both of our companies. We are designing database infrastructure and cloud infrastructure that does remove the mundane maintenance, because I've been in technology for a number of decades, and it breaks when the upgrade occurs. It breaks when the engineer comes into service. That's when you always get that call on Sunday night or Monday morning, system down, what happened? Someone put the wrong blade in, someone configured incorrectly, someone used the wrong parameter. And if you can remove that, you remove 60 to 80% of the problems that could occur. The other thing that you do, and this is where SiteC is very, very focused, is that 5G is just rolling out. I mean, the 2.5 million towers, they'll probably be micro-sized, they'll be multiplied out. You're going to see more network capacity deployed into even more remote regions, singularly because of the pandemic proving the fact that everybody needs access. And then, as we said earlier, the consumer will have a huge benefit. You know, my kids are going to be able to download the movie faster, I'll be able to run an application better, I'll be able to get more data into that little device. But more importantly, and here's a good example, we all see these toll systems in the infrastructure, and a lot of countries have congestion charges, and they've got these big, very expensive gates that are running across those infrastructures that read the license plate or some sticker. That's going to occur from space going forward. You see people in governments trying to figure out, how do I deal with congestion, but also how to deal with people management. And a lot of these sciences are going to be taken to that edge and processed in that edge in these huge environments that 5G will allow. SiteC is going to be important because the fact is we don't have the coverage yet that we need to be as truly digital as the last year has proven we need to be. So I think this is an opportunity, but what you can't be doing is sending a human being to each and every one of these towers every time you need a box or a screw turned. And if you do send someone out, you have got to map that so it's got amazing efficiency, the job can get done, they know exactly what to do with as little decision making as possible so that it gets done right, and then the next one gets moved on to.
Well, thank you, Garrett and Lucio. That was a fascinating conversation. What I took away from what I heard between the both of you, and obviously you've been working together, or your companies have been working together on this, is these sort of partnerships bring innovation to scale. And that's what we need to see to transform industries. So once again, thank you for joining us for this session with Garrett and Lucio. And we look forward to having many more conversations around industry transformation.